Hi everyone, Emmy here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this bracelet. So let me just say these two items are from the previous unboxing and these were from BB Craft. So this is a closure for a bracelet that has 3 holes and it has some beautiful crystals in it. Comes with a really nice sturdy, these are gold plated by the way, and an extender chain with a little kind of ball at the end. The other item that I got from them in that unboxing were these lovely lobster claw closures with the crystals on it. So I just wanted to say in the unboxing I was having issues getting these to work, but actually I figured out, first of all, only one of them was really stuck. The others I just moved it a bit and it was fine. What I noticed is how this is put together. It looks like this is one piece and then comes around to the other side. So I took my flat nose pliers, you can take any tool you have, and just bring it in here like that, and then open your tool a bit. And it just spread it enough, you could see this bar was getting caught, so that's all it was. And now it works fine. So just thought I'd let you know about that. These are beautiful. I love them. They're so much easier on my hands since I've had the hand surgeries, and I'm sure a lot of you have the same issue. So I think what we'll do, even though these are super nice, I'll save this for another design, and I think we'll change this one out. These are super easy to use as well. So because it's got the extender chain, when you change out the clasp, you have to remember to test it first to make sure, because this one's a little beefier. This piece here is wide. So let's open and get that in, and it goes in easily. So that's great. So we can change that out. So we're going to do that. We are just going to use this. Let's take this apart. It might be easier to attach them. There. So we are just going to do stringing today. I have tons of stuff and I love strung bracelets, but I also like complex things like putting together a puzzle. So, but I'm hearing from a lot of people that they're either new or they're doing things like, I want to say hello to Debbie and her granddaughter. So her granddaughter, I think, is 8, and they've been doing my videos together. So I wanted to make sure there was some stuff in there that was easy for both of them to do together. So we're going to do stringing. I'm going to use a crimp bead. You can use crimp tubes. I'm trying to think if there's other, yeah, there's a few other ways to do the ends, and I'm going to try and work through all of those different ways with an example as simple as this, but focus on your crimp beads. So if you're using, this is a covered beading wire, and it's protected, it's multi-strand, and then it's protected by like a nylon coating. Now, I buy these directly from Beadalon. If you have not shopped at Beadalon's website, you have to check it out. Their prices are incredible, and I mean, take a look at this. How am I ever going to use this many feet? But there you go. So this is a 7-strand. It's satin gold, and I think I paid like something like $30 for it. It tells you right on there what size crimp bead, so a number 0 or a number 1. So that's why I have the 2 out. I put them both out. And then if you're going to use a crimp tube, you use a number 1. And that's because this wire is a super narrow, very thin. I didn't realize it was that thin, but if you look, where is the size? It gives you the dimensions here. So it's 0.3 of a millimeter. I didn't realize that. Let me grab, so I ordered this in error. I was trying to order the gold equivalent to this one, but if you look at this one, it's 0.46 millimeters, and this one is a little more substantial. And let me get the other one so you can see them side by side. So you can see the difference. This one's super thin. You can tell this one's like a little more rigid, but here's the thing. If you're doing beading, say a necklace or even the bracelet, you want it to like droop naturally in the shape of your hand or around your neck. If you have a thicker wire, you see how it bounces back. This one still is really good, but this one will really, it will act as if it's string, so you can really play with it. So anyway, that's that. And it has this neat way of keeping it in the spool. Actually, I'll just, yeah, I better take it out. So let me get this out, and I'm going to cut the damaged piece off. I was testing it with some different techniques here. So you do need nippers to cut this. You can cut it with scissors. It will dull your scissors, so it's not a good idea. These are super cheap. I think I get them like 2 pairs for $6 or $7 on Amazon. So they're really cool. Get rid of that. Oh, look, it's still, it's kinked where the where it was attached to the spool, where I had it going in and out. Okay, so keep that there. And then we have, oh, there's my little happy faces. I think it was Debbie that said that too. She goes, I like your little happy faces. So I have on either side here, I have just 2 basic like desk lamps. And then in right this way, I have this artist lamp that's like a gooseneck, and it's like a bar. So you can, so it creates these happy faces because we're all happy. And then I have, this is another item that I got from BB Craft. This was, this is a gold plated as well. So these are 6 millimeter Preciosa pearls. I think they are called cream. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a bunch of these pearls from Preciosa that are kind of the same, in the same vein. There's ivory, there's parchment, so I can never remember their names. So there. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the number ones. And let me see if I can show you. The number 0 look a little smaller than the number ones, and we are going to put them at the end. Like I said, we're going to string it, each string, the way I have them here. So in the way that I'm going to put these crimp beads on is I'm just going to squish them flat. So we'll have kind of an oval shape here. So I kind of want the one that almost matches, like it'll look right with the size of these beads. So the other beads are these incredible rondelles that I got from Raven's Journey. I apologize, I can't like suggest where to get them because she only sells to wholesalers, so I was able to get a whole bunch of stuff. Every 6 months or so I'll place a big order, but these are so gorgeous. And this is actually the first time I've actually used them in a design. I'm a hoarder, you know. So let's cut these. So these pearls come on a strand of 25. So we're going to do, let me cut the other side as well. There. Get the string off of this. So I hope everybody's doing well. My mood has finally gotten back to normal. It was a bit low recently. If you noticed, I wasn't doing many videos. That's why. So I always just start by stringing on the one side and I leave it on the spool till I'm ready to cut it. That's just because, you know, sometimes we get distracted and things fall and the beads go flying everywhere. So I just want to show you too what this length is going to be. So it's not very accurate way to do this, but it's about a 6.5. And then of course, because we have the extender, it can fit somebody with a 6.5 inch wrist, or a little, maybe closer to a 7, right up to probably an 8. The extender chains are amazing. So we're just gonna get a bunch of these on. You can use spacer beads or daisy spacers in between, but I think it looks nice just like that. So I'm just going to get these on. I do want to say with Beadalon on their website, as far as I know, it's still the case. If you have never ordered from them, sign up for their newsletter and they will send you an email saying that your first order is 30% off. And then one of the other things I wanted to mention, I should grab it to show you. It's hard to show because it's so big, but it's a bead tray. This is a funny story. So this bead tray, let me see if I can. I doubt. Yeah, I can't show you the whole thing. So here's the one side, and then we'll go down, and it's got these big spots at the top, and then there's the other side, like this. So it's got all the measurements. Actually, the measurements are correct, and there's these channels, so you can, if you're doing beading, you can, you know, design your bracelets or necklaces, put them in the spots, and then you're ready to go. You just bead them that way, and they've got all the spots for other loose items. This was, I think, like $10 maybe. You know what? I think it was even less than that. So the funny story is this was like early on in COVID, so the deliveries were just ramping up into the neighborhoods. And I ordered from Beadalon. It's probably a couple of years now. And because they can't bend that, and so all I had was things like this. And we'll talk about the crimp beads in a second. So I had things like crimp beads and whatnot. So it was all like really small stuff. But of course, they couldn't bend that big bead tray. So it was in this massive box, and I guess probably UPS, they dropped it at the door. My wife's like, "What did you order now?" Yeah. So let's talk about the crimp beads. I didn't know when I started beading the difference between like cheap crimp beads or crimp tubes. So I would just buy, you know, stuff off of eBay or stuff from AliExpress. And I constantly had issues with my crimps. And it just was so frustrating because you want to do this beautiful bracelet or necklace and it's just not happening. And it's not until like in the last maybe year or so that I realized, I decided that's it. I'm gonna order like the Beadalon name brand and test it out. And once I did that, I realized that's what I was doing wrong. Is I was buying cheap bindings to attach my strands, and it made a huge difference as soon as I started using these. So if I can give you any advice, you can get these, a set of these, the different sizes at Michael's. I think they're about $10 for a package of 4 of these. Kind of, they look a little like a test tube almost. It doesn't look like there's a lot there, but there's 150 pieces. So you think that's a lot of bracelets you're doing, right? So it's 75 bracelets if it's 1 strand each. And that's each bottle. Use a coupon, it's even cheaper. So yeah, let me just double check I got the right amount here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, these are 50. Yeah, so there's 25 here. These are 50 strand of pearls. Okay, so now I'm going to take my end. I'm still attached to the spool. Let's get our crimp beads out. These I find a little difficult. They've got like that weird stopper, and if you have issues with your hands, it's sometimes an issue. But you know what? I like to keep them in here because then I know they're my good ones. Because I still have some of the junky ones. There we go. So we are going to need 6 of these. But you know what? Might as well leave it out because sometimes mistakes happen. So what you're going to do once you have the amount of beads you want on there, you're going to pick up one of the crimp beads. But let's enlarge this. And you're going to take your clasp. And so I'm going to put, the middle one is going to be the glass rondelles. So I'm going to put it on here through that loop. Then I'm going to fold it over and put it back through the crimp bead like that. And you're going to bring it down. Now you can put as much of a loop as you want, depending on how much you want it moving. I think we should bring it really close to the end. Let me make sure that's in focus for you. There, that's better. So I'm going to bring it right to the end. It's still moving around nicely. So I'm going to hang on to that and grab my... You can use regular pliers for this. I'm going to use my flat nose and get in there on my crimp bead and just flatten it. Just going to make sure both sides are flat. And I'm going to tug to make sure everything's, you know, secured. So part of the nylon that coats your wire, the crimp bead will actually like hook onto it, so then it's like pretty secure. So it's not going to slide out. So what we can do now, some people will take this tail and thread their beads back onto it so that they'll have a bit of a tail hidden. You don't have to. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. But if your beads move around and your tail starts to come out, then... So let's, I'm going to cut mine. I'm pretty confident that it's not going anywhere. These flush cutters are getting a bit dull. I gotta think that. So again, look, it's not going anywhere. So let's bring these guys down. So there's our first strand. So now we're going to go ahead and do the next strand. So let's cut this. And we go to the other side. Now make sure when you're doing this, because we do have a top and a bottom, you want to make sure that this side of the clasp facing up as well as the other side, so that you get the bottom on the other side. Now actually we're gonna flip this. I'm gonna flip this on you because I forgot. I want to put my snowflake in there in between those beads. So this will be the top and then the other will be the bottom. So let's grab our end here. Oh, we need a crimp tube or crimp bead. Go through. And so now you can thread through a bunch of beads. So you go through your crimp bead. And we'll go through. Oh, we didn't do that. We just cut it. So I'm going to do the same. So just grab, oh, just went out. Awkward. That's what the young people say, you know. Oh my gosh. One Christmas we went to my sister's for Christmas, and my niece Allie she was a teenager, 13, 14, I don't know, something like that. And we kept talking like we were teenagers. We're like, oh, Jennifer, totes. Isn't that totes adorbs? Message me on Insta. Stuff like that. My niece is like, please don't. Please, no. We're like, what? Isn't that how you talk to your friends? So I'm just hanging on to the end there. I kind of want it a little, yeah, I guess right there is fine. So slide your tool under. Watch you don't scratch anything. And nice and folded. Make sure everything's secure. So that's not coming off, so I'm going to clip that. And be careful when you clip it at this point, you clip the correct side. I speak from experience. How many times? I'm like, oh. And there's proof of it. I did a video. There we go. That's not going anywhere. So look at that. That's lovely. Okay, so let's get the second one, which is these. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way here. These crystal rondelles. So we grab our end of our wire and put these on. And I had it measured out. It seemed like it was even, but we'll double check it because you don't want this part of your bracelet being kind of wonky because you have too many of one bead. And that's where those trays come in handy because you can line everything up really nicely. Okay, I'm trying to go fast here, but it's not working. It's not my jam. I'm trying to think of some stories to tell. We got out for a swim this morning. It's so nice. But let me tell you, the water felt cold. So we go to a pool that's, I would consider it a professional pool. So the water temperature is cold. We'll just use that technical term. And as it gets colder outside, you really start to notice it. You know, in the summertime, you're like, oh, this is nice. As you get older, you start to notice how cold it is. There was when I lived in Toronto, there was like a public swim at one of the high schools. They had a pool at the high school. I was like, what? Okay, I'm third period. I'll take swimming. I'm you know what? It's probably pretty common in the States too, in bigger cities. But it's not something. We went to French schools. There's like, I think there was 2 French schools in Toronto, grade schools. So to me, that was like the English people had pools. We didn't have that. Look, it's not long enough. Oh, so I'm glad we figured that out. So I've got another strand of these. You know what? I have like 10 strands of these. I don't think I've ever used them. That's the hoarder in me. Like, uh. Okay, let me have an estimate here of how much I need to add. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably add a few to that. We used to go to a roller rink. And again, it was like adults only kind of thing. But then the one night they had it where, you know, it was for teenagers, but you had to be 16, so we all had fake IDs. We were like 12, 13. I don't even remember them checking us. It's like, what are we going to do at a roller rink that you need to be 16? I think they just didn't want the responsibility of kids goofing around. We're just goofing around. This is going to be amazing. I think I need one more. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Got my... Turn this way. And oh, it might be more than that, 2 or 3 more. Okay, right about there. So yeah, let's try 2. And again, you can use like daisy spacers with these. Would look lovely, but I just found it made it look like there's a big cable of gold in the middle. It's all about the bling. There, I think that's it. So we're gonna have to get our crimp beads kind of snug up. I'm just wondering if maybe we should take one off. Give us more space. Yeah, I think one off will do it. So let's get our crimp tube on that. And let's take this guy, put it through the middle hole, bring your wire and go back through the crimp tube and pull it up to your, oh, it hooked around. There we go. Pull it up to about there. About that much. Get your flat nose, squish it down. That's good. I'm going to clip that tail off. Well, they're close together, that's why I'm being careful here. Okay. Where are we? Now, pull that all down. Get that. So I'm trying to line it up on this side so that it kind of sits even. It's a bit hard to get it exactly right. I'm going to cut this because it's still attached to my spool. Grab a crimp bead, go through the middle hole of your clasp and put it back through the crimp bead. That. And pull. I'm just gonna line these up again. There we go. I think it needs another bead because when I even it out, it pulls it out. Oh, the clasp came off. Let me take a look at this. I don't really want it to be that big, the loop. So let's add, I was going to say, oh, we should have kept, like, we still have it. We didn't crimp it yet. So that's another tip. Check everything out before you put a crimp that's going to be something I mean, you can still cut everything, cut that strand off and start over. It's not that big a deal. The beading wire is not that expensive, so don't have to worry too much. You can get beading wire at Walmart. That's where I used to get all mine until I found Beadalon. just saying. So there, like that. So I am gonna bring my tube up a bit, and that way it will give the beads some movement. Let's pull this down a bit. As you get going on this, it starts to get a little more finicky to get, especially if you're trying to match the length together. There. And we will cut this one off. Now there, that's not too bad. Ta-da! Okay, flip it around. We are going to do this like that. This is what I was saying, the chain came off. No big deal, we'll put that back on. So let's put those pearls on. So let's remember, I'm saying this for myself, not for you guys. Let's remember to put the snowflake on. I could have opened the jump ring and attached it to the pearls, but I'll tell you what, I don't want to have tools next to my pearls to scratch them up. And I also found that this jump ring was nicely, it's almost like it's soldered, It's very nicely close together, so it won't like pop off your line. But if I were to open it and close it again, it might not get that close. So that's just a wee bit of information. You're like, okay, get on with it. Some people are. Some people are mean to me, you know. Can you believe that? I don't understand. Can you explain it to me? Why would you go out of your way to make a rude comment? It's like saying, I don't like your videos. I'll never watch them again. It's like, so why are you telling me if you're not going to watch them again? 8, 9, 10. So we're going to have one side that has 12 and one has 13. Not a big. I don't think you're going to notice that when it's on your wrist. Okay, snowflake time. So again, you got to put your snowflake on the correct way. Otherwise, your bracelet will look like that. All of these things I've done many times. I'm coming from this side, so I'm going to go my thread or my wire around. Look at that, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's very sparkly. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking this would be a great bracelet to wear at a work Christmas party. Being a nurse, I don't think I've ever had a Christmas party. So I would wear socks that had like the different occasion. And then when we were allowed to wear scrubs, I would either make my own scrubs or buy ones that had the different occasions like Christmas and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Or I'd wear something on my name tag that had something to do with the holidays. So this looks like the last one. I'm going to double check that that works. Super duper. Okay, get a crimp bead. Oh, where did that one fly off to? They are alive. Okay, so I'm going to grab come up through the hole, and I'm going to put this in the crimp bead again and pull it down to where the distance I like, and get my flat nose pliers. Flatten. Checking to make sure that's not loose in any way. Nope. Cut that off. And then bring that. Oh, there's the other one. Okay. Oh, this is, you could do a choker with this. This would be lovely. Oh, here's the thing too. So we're making a bracelet, but if you look at these, you can take these ends off and you can add another strand, either some chain to make it into a choker or necklace, or you can add another strand of beads on this side. Put like crystals or something, that would be lovely. Sweet. Okay, let's not dilly-dally. Don't you love all those old sayings? I always like have to look it up. Thank goodness for the internet. Like, where did that saying come from? Dilly dally. One of my favorites, shenanigans. Oh, it's just a funny word. Grab a hold, put it through your crimp bead. I'm gonna try and lay everything flat so I can get an idea of where this last one's gonna fit. Like that. I think that's gonna work there. Watch you don't scratch your pearl. I think the strand went out a bit, but that should be fine. That. Wow, that's nice. That's pretty. Okay, so we're gonna get this guy back on and we're gonna change this one out. So I'm gonna grab my other pliers. So for this one, we don't need that jump ring. So let that one off. And we're gonna take this jump ring off. If I can find the opening. There it is. That one off. That one doesn't want to come off. Okay. So let's open this one. I wonder, I think we're going to put a jump ring here to connect the two. Because if you notice, this jump ring is laying flat and that one's laying flat. So I kind of like to, you want to see this lovely sparkliness going on here. So we'll connect them and then hopefully when it sits on your wrist, it'll sit nicely. So this one's pretty bright. I don't know. So let's open this up. And twist it back together. There we go, like that. That's nice. And I'm not too happy about this big jump ring, but you know what? You could always put some dangles on that too if you wanted to. But oh, this is lovely. I'm not very what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the opposite would be I'm full of myself. I'm not very humble. This is gorgeous. I made it. Okay. So I'm putting the extender chain. Thought should be big enough for the extender chain. I was thinking maybe I wanted to put like a big jump ring. This one looks soldered. Yeah, this is the one that went with this. Actually, it would fit nicer too, but you know what? I don't think I'll get that open. It's soldered, so let me grab. I only have a few left of these. I gotta get moving and order some more of these small gold-plated jump rings. There. Put that on there, like that. And get your extender chain. I did notice from Baby Craft that they have a bunch of different extender chains with like flowers on the end and stars and hearts. So I'm gonna, as part of the next couple of times, I'm gonna order some. That's lovely. Move these guys out of the way. Ha ha. Let's take a look with our happy face bracelet. Oh, this looks really nice. That is awesome. Let me see if I can demonstrate it on my wrist. Oh, this is amazing. This is so pretty. And then, so this is like way big for my wrist. So let's test it out on the mandrel to give you an idea. So I probably needed to go a bit smaller with the bracelet. Let me hook this up close to the beginning. Actually, you can hook it right on the link if you don't want to use the extender chain. And if you don't want this big dangly, just loop it a second time into your clasp. But let's take a look what we have here. There's my so it's at a 7-inch. So it goes from a 7 and it should extend right to the 8. So that is lovely. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I'll see you in the next video. Maybe we'll do some more of these. These are fun if you guys are into it. Listen to me jibber jabber. Take care, everybody. Bye.